Hi friends, I'm Penny Hunt and this is Penny Heart to Heart. Today I'm just going to pop in and chat with you just for a few minutes about the writing that I posted this week, Objects in the Mirror Are Closer Than You Think. I always like to do these heart to hearts and I explain to you why I wrote it, what spurred my mind to write about this topic, and elaborate just a little bit more on the writing. If you haven't read it, I always put the link with these heart-to-heart videos so that you can go back and read it for yourself, and I encourage you to do that. I wrote this, and it all was spurred by a photograph that my granddaughter took. She took the picture that is on my blog post with the writing, and it's a picture of the rear view or the side view mirror and the passenger side of a car. And if you notice on those mirrors, there's always this phrase that says, objects in the mirror are closer than you think. And it is because when we pass a car or a car comes up alongside of us, we think it's back further than it really is because the mirror distorts the vision a little bit. So in most of them, the car's actually closer than we think it is. And so that's why that little phrase is on all of those mirrors. Well, when I saw this picture and I read that on this photograph, I started to think about, excuse me, how we don't even pay attention to that. How many times are we given warnings in life and we get so used to seeing them there that we don't even pay attention. We don't even notice the words anymore. And even if we do, when was the last time you read that phrase on your mirror in your car and thought about it? We just don't. We're so used to it being there, it's just become ingrained. It's something that becomes invisible to us. But what I wanted to talk about is when I started to think about that and think about how we think there's so much space. There's so much space in between the car coming up alongside of us or and our car, or if we're passing, there's so much space between where we can safely be in front of that car. And our perception of how much space and time we have to make that maneuver is very different than what is really there. And I started to think about how that relates to life. I do this all the time in my writings. It can be just a word, it can be a phrase, I can hear a conversation, and I start processing and thinking it and then relating it to what we can see in life that is similar to it. So, just as the car is closer than we think, that space is shorter than we believe it to be, think about our life and how many times we think we have all the time in the world, all the space in the world to get things done and accomplished. So for example, how quickly does time go? We have babies and we think they will be little forever, they're never going to grow up, and just like this, we blink and they're grown and have kids of their own. Or our parents, we always think our parents will be here forever, help giving us advice and enjoying their wisdom and their love, and we blink and our parents have aged and passed away. And that happens for us. Our life goes so quickly. And we think we have all this time to go back to school if that's what we want to do, to write a book, to travel, to do all these things that we can think of, to change careers. All of these things that in the back of your mind you think, oh, I've got a lot of time in my life to get that done. I can do that, after I retire, or I can do that in 10 years, or I can do that next year. And really, how much time do we have? Because just like the mirror on the side of our car, time is distorted. And we believe, our perception is that we have so much more time than we really do. Now, I want to put just a little more twist on this. Because of what we're going through right now in the world, and so many of us are still working from home, or maybe your business is closed and you've been laid off, or whatever it is that your circumstance has been because of the pandemic, and we think this is going to go on forever. And we hear different stories. We hear 18 months, we hear 2 years, it may be longer than that. And so we think this is going to last forever. And the reality is, there will come a time when we realize we've made it through this period. Whether it's completely gone or we've learned how to handle it and the world has adjusted, there will come a time when we've made it through. And then we will look back and think, oh, remember how it seemed like that took forever, that we had so much time that we couldn't wait for it to be over. There will come a time when we've passed through this phase of the world and our lives. And I've talked about this many times when I did a video a day for 50 days when the pandemic first started and we were all sheltering in place, and talked about how people are cleaning out closets and writing books and getting all these things done. And maybe you were one of those, and maybe you weren't, and either way is okay. But what I want to say is, think about how quickly this time has gone already. Since March 12th was the first day I stayed home when this all shut down. And it seems like forever ago, and yet it really has gone quickly. I am not one of those that accomplished everything. I didn't get all my closets cleaned out. I didn't get all that done. And it went so quickly, and now I look back and think, oh, I could have accomplished a lot more during this time. But that's okay. So what I want you to do is think about that mirror. The next time you get in your car, look at your mirror and see if you see those words, because it's a safety requirement that those words are on there. And so I'm pretty sure they're going to be on your side view mirror of your car. Objects in the mirror are closer than they seem. And so is life. The object that we see so far in the future for our life, whether it is a new job or going back to school or retirement or accomplishing something that you really want to do in this life, and you think it's so far in the distance, it is so much closer than you think. That's why I wrote it. That one simple little picture that's there started my brain thinking about how short life is, how much time really we have, and how quickly it goes. And what do we want to accomplish? So I encourage you to go follow the link if you haven't read it yet. I encourage you to comment. I love your comments. And tell me what you have accomplished or what you want to accomplish in this life yet. And I think this situation the world is in right now really has made us all think about this a little more. You maybe have a loved one that has been ill, or maybe you've lost loved ones during this time. It really makes you think. We don't know how long we have here in this life, and so we want to make an effort to squeeze as much joy and love and accomplishments that you want to achieve while you're here. Squeeze it all out while you're here. I thank you for joining me for a few minutes today. I'm Pennie Hunt, and this has been Pennie Heart to Heart. Thanks for watching.